What is love? You tell me.
Oh my god.
What is love? I have no idea. You want to know how to talk about love in Chinese? We got you covered. In this video series, I'm gonna show you all about talking romance in China. Yes, if you have an interest in China, living in China, or want to learn Chinese, and this series is definitely gonna be of great value to you. For those who are new here, all our videos of this series will be at the end of this one. Continue watching to explore other ways to talk about romance in Chinese. And don't forget to subscribe so you will get first access to our new video series. My name is Joanna and I'm gonna be your host during the romantic adventures. I can't wait, so let's dive in. In this episode, I will show you the way we're talking about getting married in Chinese. Stay with me till the end to learn the 3 most important Chinese words about getting married. Hello, Antonia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Joanna. I'm Antonia. I'm from Germany and working here as an engineer. I'm in China since last year, October. Learning Chinese is important to survive on the street in your daily life.
My name is Chipper van Ellen. I'm a civil engineer and I also happen to be one of the founders of Mandarin.
Yeah, 老板. Oh, 老板 is here today, yes. So today we will learn some Chinese words related with getting married.
Ooh, interesting topic. So far away from me.
Really? Why?
Because it's a big commitment and also first I would need a partner and someone who would really like to stay with me with her whole life.
I see. Imagine someone urges you to make a commitment. So which comes to our first word of today, which is 催婚. 催 means to urge, to push, and 婚, 结婚 means to get married. And it's a verb, so 催婚. So normally your parents or your relatives to do it. They want you to get married literally like now, you know.
It's really a verb.
Yeah, it's like
to push
now.
people into marriage.
Yes.
I heard that some Chinese parents can be really pushy.
Yes, indeed. You know, there's a Chinese saying goes 男大当婚,女大当嫁, which means when it comes to a certain age, no matter you're boys or girls, you need to get married because that's what their parents want, you know? And it's often in a very criticizing tone.
And why is that so important that they even have a verb for it? 催婚.
I think it's based on Chinese history and our culture. It's like parents think it's their responsibility to push their children to get married early because they want them to have a happy life. And also they feel like it's their mission. You know, like, oh, I need to let my kids get married and then they can have a happy family.
Yeah.
I can have grandson or granddaughters, and then everyone around my district or like my areas, they won't really gossiping about my family. Maybe like that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard that family is super important in China, but it still sounds quite annoying, isn't it?
Indeed.
This kind of push from your parents.
Yeah, so that's why nowadays, like many Chinese young people refuse to get married in a very young age now.
Well, in Europe, it is different. I mean, by now people don't get married that often anymore, but in my country it was much more a religious thing. You
Religious
know?
thing.
We would marry in church.
Okay.
And when the religion became less important, by now people do get married, but they don't marry in church anymore. There won't be a push from parents or family.
And I also heard like maybe in Europe, some part of the countries, like they don't get married like couple. They just be together.
Yes.
And then they have kids.
Yeah.
And then they don't have like the certificate, you know, like we call it 结婚证.
Basically 3 parts. People who get married in church and also by law. People who only get married by law, not in the church. And you have people who don't marry, but they go just to the local organization, the mayor, and ask for a sort of contract. The house is half yours, half mine, etc. If we get separated, I give you half of the money.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Would that make you happy? Would that sound like a good deal for China?
Well, it sounds for me, but I'm not sure for any other, but sounds very interesting for me. Would like to try actually.
What would Chinese parents do if they do 催婚 besides saying get married?
I mean, for some desperate Chinese parents, they were trying to help them find another partner, but it's according to their own preference, but not their children's preference. Sometimes the relatives can be very nosy as well. So they will come and tell you, be like, oh, getting married is the most important thing to do, and it's the right thing to do, and also maybe it's a moral thing to do. So like what my auntie will keep telling me, like if you do not get married now, all the good guys will gone, like that. And when it comes to Chinese New Year, you know, young Chinese people, they will need to go back home to visit their relatives, right? And some of them are really afraid. Their relatives will be like, oh, where's your boyfriend? Where's your husband? So they will choose to just stay put, just not going back because they're afraid. Like what I did sometimes.
That would be too much for me, and I would say my honest opinion, and that it's my own decision what I do and what I don't. And I would probably just avoid the situation by leaving the table and, I don't know, playing with my nieces or something like that.
Yeah, that's clever, because I would just keep telling my relatives, like, if you say that again, I'm gonna leave. Is that rude? So sometimes I just tell them badly, like, I'm a lesbian. And then they will just be like, what? And I'll be like, guys, sorry to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, I think definitely to reach an understanding, communication is needed from both sides. That we also educate and explain a little bit to our parents and grandparents more about the current lifestyle, what's important for us in terms of personal goals and...
So have you ever come across any 催婚 experiences?
No, I don't think so. No. I think it's much more that people, if you don't get married, people more feel they try to connect you to nice people, to help you a little bit.
Blind date.
But it's blind dates kind of stuff.
So you do have blind date in Europe?
We do. Not meant to push you into marriage. We don't have this verb like a 催婚.
催婚.
I would say not in a very aggressive way, but definitely my grandmother is always asking, like, did you get to know somebody? Do you have a boyfriend? And also my mother was saying for a very long time, it's good to get the first child before you're 30.
Yeah. So if you're being 催婚, then the next Chinese words you will also hear a lot is
门当户对.
互对, yes. 门当户对. Can you recognize any characters here?
I only know that 门 is door.
Yeah, very good. 门 here can mean door. Yes. 门 means door, and 户 here means household. Like we say 户口. And 当 and 对, you know, 对 means like towards. So here 当 and 对 means matching or equivalent. So when you're getting married, Chinese parents expect you to find the matching family background, you know?
You use many lines just to say that people expected to don't marry someone who's poorer than you, right?
I just think it's just kind of very traditional things for Chinese people. Like they wanted you to get married with similar backgrounds.
Back in the old days, of course, aristocracy people would marry the same level, but maybe in Europe I think it was more important even a religion. Catholic people should not marry Protestant people, or the other way around. Church was really important then, but as that has decreased enormously, I would say these days it's much more about...
It's about love. It's not really about the money.
Love, values, yes, all those beautiful things.
I know finance is a big thing here. I heard from friends here in Shanghai several stories that you need to have an apartment or a car or something, especially as a man, that you can get married and find a wife.
So what do you think of this?
I really think that there are more important things than finance, and you can have a car or an apartment but still be a horrible person. So two people matching is more about personality and not just family background. So for example, that they did similar life experiences, for example, went abroad, or that they share the same values.
So what you mean is mentally 门当户对, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if unfortunately you guys are not 门当户对, so in old days people choose to 私奔
Suban.
Yes.
Ooh, this is a hard one. I know, secretly.
Yeah.
Ben, I don't know. What
But-
does it mean?
But means to run.
Ah.
So secretly run,
Oh.
elope, you know?
Oh, that's vivid. Like two lovebirds, like Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, yes. It's very, I think
Beautiful word.
it's the
Okay.
beauty of Chinese language, right?
It is.
Yeah.
definitely.
This is quite romantic and it sounds more like in a movie or older times. Does Chinese people really still do that?
We do have this story, 梁山伯与祝英台. It's talking about two person 私奔 together because they're not 门当户对. And then in the end, they become butterflies together forever. So it's like a very romantic love stories, right?
Beautiful, but
Yeah.
butterflies don't live a long time.
No, it's
But
not about living
I
long
like the
time, it's about
story.
being together.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
God, Hollands. Well, let's review the Chinese words that we learned today. The first one is 催婚.
我被催婚了.
Yes, okay. 门当户对，结婚就是要门当户对。I don't think so. 私奔，我想
我想
和你
和你
私奔。
私奔 like
Yes.
butterflies.
Yes, cute butterflies. I bet you can guess what we are gonna talk about in next episode, right? Indeed, how to talk about the marriage itself in Chinese is next episode's topic. Please don't forget to leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye. 再见.